Professor, it's good to see you, and we really need your help today, not just in opinion, but in trying to make sense of this. What does this mean? What is the court, what are the dissenters saying about the danger of this decision when it refers to people who have not yet sued, people who are not part of a lawsuit?
What it means, Ali, is that the Supreme Court has made it much easier, not only for this president, but for any president, to get away with violating any law, including the Constitution. The example of a hyper-liberal president ordering that agencies of the federal government take away everybody's gun or restrict religious exercise of a kind that doesn't satisfy the views of the majority, those kinds of examples, too, would be subject to this entirely new regime. It's a regime that is completely inimical to the rule of law. In a nation of 300 million people, you can't possibly say that when the Constitution or a federal statute is clearly and outrageously violated, they get to keep violating it unless and until everybody has sued or someone representing everybody in a cumbersome process has achieved standing to sue, unless and until the U.S. Supreme Court speaks. That kind of ruling establishes not just an imperial executive, but an imperial Supreme Court. They have the only binding word. And it's useful, Ali, to take a step back and ask what this is all about. To read the majority opinion, you would think that we were taking a class in civil procedure. Justice Barrett, who knows her procedure going back to the courts of chancery in England, which, by the way, as Justice Jackson pointed out in her dissent, were basically impotent against the Crown and hardly established the relevant precedent for us. She knows her detailed civil procedure, but she never takes a step back and asks, what are we talking about here? No judge of any court who has heard a challenge to this president's attempt to say that even if you are born in the USA, you may not be a citizen unless your parents meet certain criteria. No judge has failed to say, my golly, that's obviously unconstitutional. Right. It's been the law ever since the founding that if you're born here, you belong here. You're a citizen. That was embodied textually in the Constitution, in the very first line of the 14th Amendment, which overruled the infamous Dred Scott decision that carved a terrible hole in that principle by saying that if you are born to people who were slaves, you don't get the benefit of birthright citizenship. Right. But nobody in the majority even hinted that this might be valid. But what they did was say, unless you can meet the requirements of a very cumbersome class action procedure, or maybe take some other circuitous path, you are not going to establish your rights. And it's not clear that this case will reach the court, because if every time the administration confronts a challenge in a lower court, it loses, as it has so far, before Republican and Democratic judges alike, you can count on it not to take that loss to the U.S. Supreme Court, where it might learn that the Constitution means what it says. Instead, they will try some end run around it like they did this time and ask for a slight revision in the scope of whatever relief has been granted. Yeah. As Justice Jackson put it, it's catch me if you can. That's what the law now says.
Right. And this is interesting because I think there may be a lot of people out there tonight thinking, did the Supreme Court say that Donald Trump can revoke birthright citizenship? Not at all. They didn't touch the issue. The issue here is that the administration says federal district judges cannot make a decision that applies to everybody other than the people who are suing or other than the people in that particular state. So for most of us, this sounds procedural, but to Justice Sotomayor and you and others who are thinking about this constitutionally, it's not a small procedural matter. It's of great import that the court is saying all injunctions and all decisions by federal judges who can see the unconstitutionality of something this administration does are not enforceable across the law.
Well, if Justice Barrett were listening, she would say, no, you've overstated it, Ollie, because we did say that if, for example, a state could prove, when we send the case back to the district courts, if a state could prove that in order to get complete relief, it had to get nationwide relief because people might be born in another state where they're not deemed citizens and then come to the state, the patchwork quilt wouldn't work. And maybe states could prove that they are entitled to a sweeping injunction, but maybe not. We've seen that this court often dangles possibilities in front of us only to pull them back when push comes to shove. And this is a really basic part of what America means, not just the rule of law in the abstract, but law protecting the basic meaning of American citizenship. Other countries, don't say that if you're born there, you are automatically a citizen. Many of the people who are going to lose their American citizenship for an indefinite period will be stateless under this ruling because their parents come from countries that say that unless you were born there, you don't have a chance of becoming a citizen. And unless your grandparents and your forebears were born there, you don't count. So what we have is a ruling that traps lots of people into lives of continued impoverishment. A lot of these kids will not be eligible for school lunches, for all kinds of aid. There are many things that only citizens can get. And if you are unlucky enough, and there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people in this situation, if you're unlucky enough not to be born with the right lineage, this decision sets a trap for you. And in general, this court has relished abstractions. They love parsing legal details, but they don't think about the human consequences of what they're doing, what it means for the lives of people. And I think the more the people recognize what this president and the court that he is stacked are doing, the more we will have a popular uprising against a would-be tyrant who is now destroying democracy and the rule of law step by determined step.
It's remarkable you bring up the concept of statelessness, because when we think about people who are stateless, we think about people who have been exiled, who are political dissidents, who are products or victims of a revolution or a crisis of some sort. Can you imagine that we're going to create stateless people in America by none of their own doing?
I know what it's like. My mother was a stateless person. I know what it's like. She was born in a part of Manchuria that then became the Soviet Union, and she lost her citizenship. Yep. She came here. She was a citizen of nowhere, but at least someone who is born here is guaranteed citizenship.
Yeah.
But this is a nightmare what the court is creating.
Yeah. Professor, it's good to see you. As always, thank you for joining us tonight to make this a little bit clearer to us. Professor Laurence Tribe is a constitutional law professor emeritus at Harvard University.